Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Shafiq Empowerment Coaching, hashtag just call me chef. How are you doing, everybody? This is a blog going out regarding not to be a prisoner of your own mind. So those of you see me for the first time who know nothing about me, my name is Shafiq Villasanti. I'm a coach, an author and speaker, but as I always say, I am also the survivor of two suicide attempts. So in 2006 and in 2016, I reached such lows in my life that I saw out the actions and I completed the actions to end one's life. But thankfully, somebody up there was looking after me, and they both failed. So I really do know what it's like to feel overwhelmed, misunderstood. I know what it's like to scream from the buildings and no one listens to you. I know what it's like to feel so desperate that you just want to press pause on the world and play catch up, and yet you can't. And you just want to kind of end that pain. And sometimes ending that pain for me wasn't necessarily succeeding in what I tried to do, but it was just basically to stop the pain. So I've been there. But most importantly, I love to break down the stigmas and taboos associated with poor mental health. So here I am, hashtag just call me chef. If you want to know more about me, go to www.shafiqempowermentcoach.co.uk and find out about my products, about the book There's No Shame, which you can buy online, or any one-to-one sessions you might like with me. So point to talk about today is don't be a prisoner of your own mind. So our mind is amazing. Our mind, quite literally, along with the kind of the electrical system of our hearts and everything else that runs around our body, enables us to action everything. But just as much as it enables us to action and see out those actions, it also can imprison us with our thoughts, with our every thought, every being, every waking moment, or every sleeping moment. If we don't look after our mind, it can really undo all the good work that we might do during the day in our waking state. So for me, my mind between 2006 and 2016 was saying, you're crackers, you're nuts. Look what you tried to do in 2006. Look what you tried to do in 2016 thereafter on my recovery. It pretty much was defining me and how I thought about myself, that I was a failure, that I wasn't marrying up to a whole host of things, a whole plethora of things, being professionally, being a man, being the hunter-gatherer and all that sort of stuff. And it was tough. I didn't look after my mind well enough. Now, I found myself in a situation where my career needed laterally sort of 18 hours a day, and it was very dictatorial, so it wasn't a good place to be in, let's be honest. And it was very difficult for me in 2016, when I last stepped foot into that place of work, to actually acknowledge the fact that it was serving me no good. There was a degree of responsibility in myself that I'd actually led myself to my attempts in 2006 and 2016, because I was a prisoner within my mind, within my head, within my waking moment. That was pretty much telling me every day who I was. So how did I break away from that? How did I break away from my mind pretty much telling me what I could and couldn't do? Well, one thing I learned was that what had happened in the past had happened in the past. Just because something had happened, it doesn't actually determine or define who you are. It's an event, and it's the past being the past. It's been and gone, and yet you're still here. So why was I reliving or living my life based on the beliefs that I had between 2006 and 2016? It was crazy to think that something that had passed had such power over me, but it was because I was topping it up every day with the environment that I found myself in. So for all the good work I was doing, saying, well, I survived my first attempt in 2006, and now we've got a bigger house, and now I've got a second child, and now I'm earning more money, and now I've got my bonus, and now I've got my new cars, and now I've got this, that, and the other. I'd always slip back. Because if I had a wobble, or if I had a particularly tough day, I'd say to myself, well, that's happened before. It can happen again. No, it won't happen again. It won't happen again if you take charge and if you take control. That's why a lot of people at the moment are struggling day to day, not only with their mental health, but their physical health and their general well-being. Lockdowns, this world virus that we're all going through, what we feed ourselves on social media, what we feed ourselves through television, what we feed ourselves through printed media, what we feed ourselves through what the general conversation is, will imprison us if our mind knows it to be the only thing that is constant day to day. So my professional life was pretty much being undermined, being challenged, being abused verbally, being told I amounted to nothing. And then when I came home, my social life was me beating myself up because I wasn't home till 10 o'clock at night to give the kids a kiss, that I was out the door at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, that I wasn't there for birthdays, I wasn't there for World Book Days, I wasn't there for Christmas plays, I wasn't there for sports days. So my mind was constantly in battle. I was doing the right thing. I was a good dad. I was a good husband. I still am a good dad. I still am a good husband. I'm a good son. I'm a good son-in-law. I'm a good extended family member. I'm all those things. But my mind was telling me that I was falling short in so many shapes, ways, and forms. So does that ring true with you? Does that ring true with somebody that you know that always sees the shortcomings in themselves and doesn't allow themselves to give themselves that proverbial pat on the back? When was, I always say, if you come to any of my seminars, my speeches, or my sessions, when was the last time you said that you're amazing? When was the last thing that you actually acknowledged that this thing called life is a gift and it's amazing and you have the very ability to do everything that you wish to? This will instigate your thoughts. And sometimes the thoughts will come out of nowhere. And sometimes you have that gut feeling, that intuitive feeling, but you will procrastinate and you'll think, no. But sometimes it's good to take that action, because sometimes we can overthink because we've been conditioned through our minds, through our thought processes, through the environment that we found ourselves over the years to think a certain way. And often people will say, if you want to use that barometer of success, see where you are now in your life. Then potentially you might be able to see what you're doing wrong. And that can be a double-edged sword, because sometimes those results that you might want won't marry up or appear quick enough for you. And you might think, well, I'm failing. Well, you're not, because you've addressed it and you want to change. It's like a big ocean tanker, is it not? The captain on the wheel, it's all in the book, I think chapter 10 or chapter 9, will turn the tiller on the wheel, turn the wheel on that big ocean liner, but he'll still be heading away from the point he wants to go. An ocean liner won't just do a right turn like that. It will slowly start to turn, but it'll travel further and further away. But as long as your mind is strong, as long as your commitment is strong, then eventually it will turn, and that momentum of turning will carry you in that direction. And that was one thing that I understood in my own personal development and my own personal life, that I was to break away from the shackles of my mind and my mindset, understand that what we feed it day to day, and crucially, and this is crucially, what we remove away from it day to day is instrumental in you and yours seeing the results that you determine and wish for. So hang in there, stay strong, stay positive. As I always say, you've got to believe to succeed. There's no shame. If you want to get a copy of the book, There's No Shame, visit www.shafiqempowermentcoaching.co.uk. And as if by magic, there's a copy of the book, There's No Shame. Yours truly. Visit www.shafiqempowermentcoaching.co.uk, or you can visit your Amazon, get it via Audible or your Kindle. But most importantly, stay positive, stay upbeat. You've got to believe to succeed. There's no shame. Hashtag just call me chef. And if you like this, you want to see more inspirational quotes or any takes of my life and my journey from where I was to where I am now, please feel via the YouTube channel to subscribe, to hit that notification bell, to hit me up with a like, and most importantly, comment. Remember, you are amazing. Give yourself that pat on the back, and you can achieve all you want to believe. Okay? Just believe in it. Believe in yourself. Lots of love. Take care. Cheers. Bye.